Sparky Show.
Yeah. Woo!
Excellent. You're all sound plenty awake for Saturday morning. So, my name is Frank. I'm part of the interpretive staff here at Conservatory Conservatory. And you're about to see a demonstration of the type of training that we do with our pinnipeds. Now, pinniped is a fancy word that means fin-footed animal, and we use it to describe 3 different groups of marine mammals: seals, sea lions, and walruses. We don't have any walruses here, but we have 3 California sea lions and 3 seals, 2 harbor seals and a gray seal. And if the show goes according to plan, because at this point in every show, I don't know what's about to happen either necessarily, we're going to be joined by our 3 sea lions. And today is actually a special day because the oldest of our 3 sea lions, Poppy, actually turns 15 today.
Wow.
And you know that today is also July 15th, so it is her golden birthday.
Oh.
So she actually has a special part of her reward today. And what do you guys think seals and sea lions like to get as rewards? That's fish. And their favorite here is something I like to call pinniped popsicles. They'll get frozen fish. And she actually, in honor of her golden birthday, I think they're orange flavored or something, but she has some golden fish sticks. So when she comes out and I introduce her, can you all help me out and just wish her a nice big happy birthday? Okay, so the type of training we do here is called operant conditioning with positive reinforcement. Did you all get that? Because there'll be a quiz at the end. That is actually not as complicated as it sounds. It really just means the zookeepers will give the animal a cue to ask them for a behavior, and when they do that behavior, they'll get a reward. So, before I go any further, let's have a round of applause for our zookeepers and their pinnipeds. So, if you have seen a Sparky show in the past, you may remember it from our old amphitheater. But a few things have changed since we first started Sparky shows in 1956. But first, so here is Subi. This is our birthday girl. So let's all wish her a big happy birthday.
Happy
birthday. 15 years old. So now in sea lion terms, she's been adulting for a while now. So the behaviors we train our animals for are what we call husbandry behaviors. So these are all the things that pertain to the animal's health care. That's what husbandry means, animal health care. So it might include very simple behaviors like a body present, where she'll hold very still and let her zookeeper check her skin and fur for any irregularities or injuries. And also, sea lions aren't terribly tactile animals. They don't tend to touch each other a lot socially in the wild, but sometimes when you are having a checkup with the vet has to check things out, or you might have to get a vaccine or a blood draw. We'll also do behaviors that allow us to get a good look at their coordination, their strength, their flexibility, how well they can wave at the audience. Now, would you call that a headstand? A handstand? We don't really have hands. Maybe a chin stand?
Like my dog.
And one difference between seals and sea lions, like Subi here, is that sea lions can rotate their flippers under their body, and they use their front flippers for propulsion, which means they accelerate and can turn very quickly, as she was demonstrating right there. Seals, on the other hand, their flippers don't quite reach the ground, so when they move, they kick their back legs along and move kind of like an earthworm, as Subi is giving you her best seal impression right there. I like to call that form of locomotion flooping. It's a technical term for it. Now, as predators, sea lions hunt fish for food, and one of the reasons their strength and agility is so important, you have to have a lot of both in order to catch fish in their native habitat. Plus, we'll also do trained behaviors that they might need in the wild. So this is a behavior called porpoising, and a sea lion in the wild might do that when they're being chased by, say, a predator. What kind of animals can you think of that might prey on seals or sea lions? Sharks, orcas. Subi's going to give you the answer. That's her impression of a shark fin. I think it's pretty convincing.
No, I didn't see it. Good.
And we might have them retrieve something in the water and bring it back to the stage, something they might do in the wild. But we'll also make it a little novel, something they don't necessarily do every day. Now, can any of you out there balance a ball on your nose like that? Yeah? You think that's your favorite behavior so far? So a little secret, she actually has whiskers around her nose that tell her where the ball is about to roll. So she can actually kind of anticipate where it's going to keep her head under it. Something we can't really do. I can't, not even with these whiskers. Now, because we train these behaviors every day, 3 times a day, we'll actually do a different training session each time during those 3 times a day. We'll be able to tell right away if anything changes from one day to the next. So it helps us keep a really good eye on their health. So this training is an important part of the welfare of our animals here at Como. So we don't all just train our seals and sea lions. You may have... Also, I might mention another purpose of this training is to help you establish, you all, our audience, establish an emotional connection to our animals. I think it's working from how many of you just went, "Aw," just then. But it gives you an opportunity to see their personalities, to see a little bit of how they're individuals. Because while they may all be training the same behaviors, they all go about them very differently. You can see how each sea lion has their own very distinct personality.
Oh.
Man, I'm just like you. I'm just as entertained by them. A little sea lion jig for her birthday. And joining us on stage here, this is Nico on the stage behind Subi, and way in the back is Poppy. Now these guys are our 2 7-year-old sea lions. Have a round of applause for Subi there. Now, is anybody here with a 7-year-old human or as a 7-year-old human? The 7-year-old humans and 7-year-old sea lions, like Nico, have something in common. It is their attention span. So our shows generally run right around 8 minutes, and that is about as long as both a 7-year-old human and a 7-year-old sea lion can pay attention. This training is entirely voluntary. It's based entirely around rewards. So if they decide they're not interested anymore, no worries. We'll actually let them go off, do something else. We'll come back later and train them when they are more interested. Now, you can see the process that it takes for an animal to learn a new behavior. Subi already demonstrated the chin stand. Nico is still learning his. Again, this is the difference between a 15-year-old and a 7-year-old. So I like to think of Subi as our high school sea lion, and Poppy and Nico as our 2nd graders. So they're still working on more basic behaviors, but we structure all our behaviors so one builds to the next. And then the very end of the show is their favorite part. I like to call it pit-a-pet popsicles. They all get the ice that was in their reward buckets. And my favorite thing about these guys, you'll watch, they're eating all the ice they can grab from their own bucket, then in a second or so, they'll switch and check out everybody else's bucket, because they want to make sure no one's getting anything better than they are. If anybody has siblings, you'll understand. So I want to thank you all for joining us for our Sparky show today as we're wrapping things up. I do have a homework assignment for you all. I told you there's going to be a quiz at the end. Once you leave the amphitheater here, I invite you to visit our other zoo exhibits. Look around for items similar to the ones that you saw us using on stage. Because we do this same kind of training for all of our other animals. Now, like I said, they're getting some golden frozen fish sticks for Subi's golden 15th birthday. Normally I'd say don't play with their food, but it is a birthday. Oh jeez. I didn't realize this was going to be a full contact show today. Remember how I said at the beginning, I don't necessarily know how it's going to end up. So one thing that you all can do to help spread the message about our welfare for our animals is by going home and just sharing your favorite behavior that Subi worked on during the show today. I think the bouncing the ball on her nose was pretty Impressive. I heard a lot of folks reacting to that one. And by doing that, you can actually help us out, because we are a publicly funded institution. We do rely on donations. This show is actually the result of a generous donation from Spire Credit Union. But just by going home and advocating for us in your community and telling friends, coworkers, anyone who's not here at the show with you, how much fun you had at the Sparky show today, will actually do a lot to help us out. So if you have any questions, feel free to come on down to the class. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here at Culver Park Zoo and Conservatory. Thank you.